Yo, what's good, world? It's your boy TWiZ, and welcome to another tutorial edition of 5 Minutes of Twisdom. For all of you who are taking advantage of having your own setup right now and have the DAW system Logic Pro X, I'm going to teach you the basics on how to get this thing started. So if you're a producer or if you're an artist, or if you're somebody who just wants to know the controls, how do you work this thing? I invest in myself. How do I get it work? This is what it's here for. So, right here, when you start up a new project with Logic, it'll give you a bunch of different options you can do. You have the software instrument tab that is usually highlighted first. So producers, you definitely want to have that. And basically what the software instrument tab is, track is basically it's just a track for your Midi data to be able to be recognized. You can't recognize Midi on audio, so you're going to need to do software instruments. That's all your plugins and all your different, things that you're going to be using digitally to create music. So you want to make sure open library is checked. Instrument, it says empty channel strip. It's just basically showing you that there's nothing in here, that you're going to leave it alone. Of course, your outputs 1 and 2 is right there. The number of tracks, you can go ahead and select how many tracks you want to have. So you have that, and then you have your audio track right here. So say, for instance, if I'm recording a project, you want to make sure that audio tab is selected, not the software instrument. Make sure the audio is selected, and of course it gives you the details here. You have your input. Depending on how many mic inputs you have, that's what you select. But normally input 1 is your mic 1. You can have ascending right there. You can go ahead and automatically have it with record able. Of course, your outputs here. It also tells you your input device. I'm working on the Avid Inbox Mini. And of course, this is talking about another output device that I used before. But if I want to go ahead and just, go ahead and do that, this screen will pop up. And right now it's saying, the outputs is temporarily using that, because I've used multiple different output devices, but it's cool. That's what I'm using on that. If you're using something else, by default, it'll probably show your internal microphone. You'll see it'll say built-in output. That's just basically using the output from your actual device. So in my instance, mine is an iMac or a laptop. If you have one, whatever, it'll do that. But you don't want to do that. You want it to come out your audio interface. So once you click that, you should be able to see the selection of whatever your audio interface is. That's mine's. Boom, boom. Buffer size. When you're recording, you want to lower the buffer size. That's what it is. And then when you're mixing, you want to increase it. This is your record delay. So like a lot of times when using USB audio interfaces, there's going to be some kind of delay. Basically the delay is just the timing between the mic and the signal that's going to the audio interface. So that's pretty much, that's more in-depth detail when it comes to that. But the main thing you want to do is make sure you have your sound coming out your speakers or coming out your audio interface. You want to have that there. Same thing for your input. If it's not reading your audio interface, you want to make sure you hit that and select whatever it is. Once you're done with that, just hit and boom, it's doing what it need to do. All right. Drummer is basically like if you have you can have any kind of type of genre on that, and it'll pop up tabs and it'll pop up channels for you to be able to do what you need to do in there. External MIDI is, say for instance, if you have, this is recognizing mine. I have a USB Key Station 88 ES MIDI controller. It's going to recognize that. That's external MIDI. Basically any MIDI instrument that's using either USB or MIDI cable that's connecting into to play as a device. Guitar, bass, that's if you are your rock star or anything like that, you want to plug that in there. So right now you want to record. So let's go ahead and pick, let's say 3 tracks. All right, boom, hit 3 tracks, hit enter. If you notice right here, these are the 3 tracks that you created. This is your arrange window. This is where your audio is going to be picking up from. And this over here is your inspector. You can toggle with that by pressing I. And basically what this does is just basically gives you a different view of this and allows you to do and have more parameter control over here. So like over here, quantize, if you have MIDI, see it says MIDI through, you'll be able to mute, loop whatever MIDI device you have going on. MIDI data that you have right here. You can quantize transpose, basically, just the different octaves that's going on right now, velocity, how hard you hit each key. All of that is for MIDI. And I'll go over that in just a moment, but you're just trying to learn how to record here. So we'll focus on the audio. Right here it says audio 3. This means that this track is selected. It's right there, the name of the track. You got your icon. You can change the icon if you want. You just click on the little wavelength right there. You can keep it like where it's at now, or, it'll let you know if that's a female, a male, if that's just audio, metronome, you're mixing, whatever you want your icon to be. You got custom icons and all that stuff. You can get more in detail for that. It's also, when you look at this, you can see I'm talking right now through the mic and it's picking up audio right here. That's channel 1. That's where I'm at right now. Okay, channel 1. And if you notice, this is moving and this is moving at the same time. It's basically the same exact thing. See, the record button is this R right here. You want to make sure that R is flashing or on if you want to get any kind of audio to come through. All right, that has to be on. This is called your fader. This fader controls your volume. And if you notice here, it starts off at 0 dBs right here. And then, of course, to the negative 30 down here. If I move this, you'll notice this moves as well. It's literally the same thing, but this gives you a more visual outlook on this. To zero anything out, you just hold down Option and just click anywhere on the fader and it'll automatically go back to 0. All right. Here, this is your input monitoring. And what that does is basically if you have more than one cable, you want to be able to do that. You can get the input monitoring from there. Of course, M for mute. You want to mute the track. So now if I record something, you're not going to be able to hear any audio coming from that track. Solo, of course, is this S button right here. And solo means I can't hear anything else but this track that has an S on it. So if I solo other tracks, only the tracks with the S on it is going to do. Now, once you hit solo up here, it's going to automatically pop up there. But that's basically to control all of your solos. OK, right here is your pan. Your pan is used to basically make sure that your channel strip is either going to run to the left or to the right. If it's centered right now, it's coming in both your left and right technically, but it's mono channel. If you notice that it's only one strip. So it's a mono channel, meaning one input mono coming in right there. All right. You won't really use pan until you have like multiple tracks and you want the pans to go into different directions. Here, this is your automation. Now, what automation is, you really do that with MIDI. You can do it with audio too, just doing the parameters on that, but that'll be like for later on. But like basically automation is when you control or basically you draw data inside your arrange window, letting what parameter, basically giving a command to a parameter to act automatically. So that's automation. All right. Groups, that's whenever you are combining more than one channel in your mixer. And you want to control just the group and they'll let you know what group it is. You can do more with that. This is your output stereo. This is letting you know where everything's coming out. So like your stereo output is this right here. It automatically shows you your output stereo right here. Okay. This is your input. It's showing you that your input 1 and then just that bit, just the circle right there means that is in mono. If I click that, it automatically turns into a stereo. And if you notice, this changes to a stereo. But because we're coming in mono, it's still coming in on one side. You don't want to record like that. Always make sure when you're recording this in mono. All right. And this is your EQ. When you can you can add your EQ right here with your plugin. Right here with your audio effects, you just hold that button down and they'll show you a whole plethora of effects that you can do for this one channel strip. All right. This is your send. So say, for instance, you want to create a bus. You don't want to affect your channel strip straight on, which I don't recommend you to do any effects like that. I recommend you to go ahead and create a bus and you send it to a bus. OK. And like I said, I'll explain more about that in another video, but this is just the basics. OK. All right. And this right here just shows you your decibels, how loud something is. So if you just saw it go to red, that means it's clipping, and it showed me how high that it went on the dBs, and this shows you the levels that it's at right now. Sorry, it's a little over the place, but you can kind of gather everything from right there. And settings is, if you click on settings, it's like if you have any presets, like Logic has presets and stuff that you can kind of do on your effects and stuff like that. But ultimately, you're going to want to learn how to do that, because sometimes each situation when you record it's a tad bit different. All right. If you look up here, this is your record right here too. You can also hit R, as it shows you right here. You can hit record on that. That's your play button. You can also hit spacebar to play. That's your stop button. And this takes you to rewind to different markers. Okay. All right. So that's your basics when it comes to that. I'll take you right back to where this S says right here. If you click this with the plus, but it's a plus with a square on it. You click that duplicates the channel strip that you're on right now. So if I want to clone this track, you would just hit that and it duplicates that. So that means it copies everything that's on it. So if it's you have plugins and stuff on here, you duplicate it duplicates everything. All right. So say, for instance, here I got my audio tracks and I got some MIDI stuff that I want to bring in. You can click this plus button right here. And what it does is bring back that window we first saw when we first came in. So if you want to add any other different channels, you can. So I know for me as a producer, there's sounds that I have that's audio, and I have sounds that I want with MIDI. So I'm gonna add some extra MIDI tracks in here. When you open the MIDI tracks, it's green. Okay. So you have green. It says instruments 1. Now it got a lot more complicated once I added the MIDI on here. Right. So don't freak out. All right. So what this basically is just telling you all the things that I just mentioned earlier, your transpose, your velocity, all that good stuff. If you want to just get this out the way, you can just click that triangle right here. Same thing for this, quantize and all stuff. If you don't want to see that right now, get it out the way. All right. And this right here just is like a default of sounds that you could possibly use just to pull in onto your MIDI track. So to add in sounds to your MIDI, you just right here it says instrument. You just click on that tab, hold it down when you click, and then you can pick whatever plugin that you want to do. So let's just pick one, and these it's okay if it's in stereo. You can just click on that. It's in stereo, and you can play. Right now, you probably can't hear anything because it's in my headsets, but I just say, for instance, I want a piano. Okay, there you go. Boom. That's how you pick a sound in this. Yeah, can't hear it right now, but that's how you would do that. All right. So with this also, same parameters are still fixed. The only difference is just that's how you do that right there by adding your instrument. All right. So back to the audio side, you're like, TWiZ, I'm really wanting to trying to record here. All right. So once you ready to record, just make sure the appropriate channel strip is armed and record. Now here I have 2 flashing. Can you have 2 tracks recording at the same time? Actually, you can, just by doing just that. Okay. So this is flashing, that's flashing. So when I record, this is going to record and that's going to record. We don't want that. You only need 1 channel to record. All right. This is your marquee play thumb. So this basically, you can align that to anywhere you need to go. These are it's like a ruler. So if you've used any kind of Microsoft Word or anything like that, it's literally the same thing. It's just allows you to go to different points on your arrange window and basically tell you where to start. All right. Here, if you see this faint little line right here that looks like a tape on this ruler, this is where your loop is. You click it one time with the hand, and this is where it loops at. OK, so if I have this loop set right here, nothing past this is going to play. So if I hit play, it's going to start right at the beginning of where that is. So if I'm recording, it's going to start right at the beginning right here. All right. The only time you really need to do loop while you're recording is if there's a certain spot that you want to record. So say, for instance, let me bring in a beat. So if you want to bring in a beat or something like that, let's see. I know I got some on my desktop somewhere. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. See, you just click on a beat literally in your find window and just drag it in the bottom, right here in the bottom, very bottom, like this big old square, just drop it in the bottom. Now, this player head is going to be where where the beginning of it's at. So you got to make sure your play head is somewhere where you want it to play. All right. So give it a second. It's converting. into basically data so you can see. And give it a second. All right, cool. So I don't know why I started way back here, but hey, here it is right here. All right. So because this is audio again, it created a blue audio track right here, and it lets you know the name of it. Whoop de whoop. So say for instance, I want to come in right here, right? So you could do one or two things. This with the hand, you click on it, it can slide. All right, you can slide it to the left, slide to the right. All right. Now, say for instance, I need to record a verse, and it needs to be my verse stops way down here. Well, the cool thing about this is you can click on this and you can drag it way down, or you could drag it this way. Either way you can drag it. All right. And say for instance, man, I don't want to go way down there to shorten it again. So you just click it off, and then you just click right here where it's at, and then just drag. And then it creates a whole new, basically, length for you. That's how you control that. Okay. So I'm about to rap right here, and I'll just select right there where I'm at. My track is armed. And all you have to do is hit the record button, or you can hit asterisk or whatever button you assign for you to record. It's really not rocket science. You got your tempo and stuff up here. You can control your tempo by, see, it's got this arrow. You can click on it and drag up or down the tempo, or you can double click on it and punch it in. These are like your beats per seconds, your key you may be in, your time signature. That's a little more stuff that you can play with. But to get started, that's pretty much what you need to do. So it doesn't, be so overwhelming and so intimidating when you look at all these different buttons. It's really, 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 really simple. Okay. So if you have any questions, anything at all, man, just holler at your boy. I'm here to put you up on game, man, so you can go ahead and start recording and making these hits. All right. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Show some love. Check out 5 Minutes of TWiZ. It's a lot of other different things that I talk about, the music industry and just things in general that you will love, and get some more knowledge. Check out some beats. I got beats on the YouTube page too, some of my beats, and then my personal songs too that I recorded. The Journey, we just dropped that a few months ago. Still brand new, pushing strong. It's really doing dope. And then Jet Set Radio beat a song that I created for Sonic the Hedgehog. So make sure you check that out, man. Share this video to somebody who may need it. I'm pretty sure somebody out there is ready to get it going, and they just need to know what to do. I got the software. What do I do, man? This is here for you guys. All right. It's been another episode of 5 Minutes of TWiZ tutorial edition. I can get it out there. The tutorial edition. There we go. All right. It's your boy TWiZ, and I'm out. Certified.